Power Rangers, Zeo.
No.
What do you want?
Ryan.
Brian, that awful person.
He's not hurt. He's not terrible.
Well, that's opinion. All right, Ben. Should be coming on in just a minute. Hello, everybody in Radio Land. This here's a Reverend Billy Ray Collins.
I don't see anybody.
You see me,
It's coming up in a minute, buddy.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Labor Day Libations, because it's not Sunday.
Daddy, actually, I want to watch that.
See what I did there with the alliteration?
I see what you did there. I like it.
Daddy, actually, I want to watch that Minecraft film.
We are Eric's drinking whiskey, and that's exactly what we're doing.
You sure?
I know Minecraft.
Mommy said no Minecraft. Okay. So, today, Mr. Miller is sipping on some Jigs. Sipping a little Jigs birthday goozle.
So, honoring bourbon heritage with a little bit of Old Forester, a single barrel pick from Jigs Liquor here in Gainesville, Florida.
I'm honoring bourbon heritage on the fact that Scotch was before bourbon and then it came over here.
And you're it was probably aged in ex-bourbon barrel trader.
Yeah. Call me a communist, I don't care.
We'll have some delightful bourbon themed content for you guys this week, but we wanted to honor the holiday, honor the weekend, and honor the month, and
What's
a little live sipping with you guys.
There you go. So it looks like that our schedules are finally, at least mine is finally kind of coming back to some sense of normalcy. I'm kind of this has been my escape from reality for a little bit, and keeping this from my escape has been a reality.
I know how that is. Yeah, it's been an adjustment for reasons that everyone understands. Last year until about January this year was working from home, which made it very easy to, as soon as 5 o'clock hit, fire up the camera and do a couple of these videos. But now with a commute and everything, it makes it a little bit harder.
I got really used to smoking cigars at 9 o'clock in the morning at home.
Yeah, that's probably not a good thing to get used to.
Hey, there's this respiratory disease out there.
and you got your very own.
They invented it after me. They call it a Simpson.
I survived COVID-19 and all I got was a nicotine dependency.
Oh Lord. So, Drink Good Liquor has started carrying this independent bottle called the Lost Distillery Company. And I think I've talked to you briefly about it before, but I am...
How'd you find it?
Carefully.
Uh-huh.
Apparently there was some secret inside of a cave, and then there was like a castle, and, you know, there's like castles all over Scotland. But anywho, so apparently... And I'm going to butcher this, but bear with me. Apparently, this is a way done better version of Diageo's Orphan Barrel program.
Okay.
So, except these guys did it correctly. So, what the Lost Distillery Company is basically doing is they're finding historic distilleries that have since closed. They're not finding barrels, you know, in these underground caves or wherever these places are. But what they are doing is they're finding historical accounts of what their whiskey was back then. And what they're doing is
they're like recreating it.
Yeah, so they are recreating the taste profile and the tasting notes from the 1700s and 1800s with a distillery. and so it's all big blend. It's a big blending process and whatnot. But they are 100% transparent on where everything came from. I think it's cool as hell, and this bottle was affordable. So this is Tallymore blended malt Scotch whiskey. So it's been done with single malt. Ben, please don't. Thank you. And then, so it says a marriage of aged single malts. The distillery founder was Peter Dawson. Historical location was Dufftown, Speyside. The distillery was open from 1898 to 1931. And then you should pair it with, or the tasting notes that it gives you is peach, vanilla, almonds, and cream. Now, Drink Good Liquor did this as a exclusive cask finish program, cask finish in Madeira wine barrels.
Okay.
$35.
Ain't bad.
Not
What
bad
proof?
at all. 86 proof.
Age stated or no?
Not age stated.
Ain't bad. Not for a space side.
No.
Huh.
Smells very reminiscent of that Naked Grouse. It is just like sugary cereal and strawberries.
Okay.
But I am very intrigued, and I am going to work my whorish magic and talk to my boy at Drink Good Liquor.
That's a technical term.
Yes, we call it the big WM.
I'm surprised you don't spell it with an H.
I could. It's a weed, but I'm gonna try to work my horse magic and sweet talk my boy Jonathan Gorb of Drink Good Liquor and see if we can get EDW on some Lost Distillery.
All right.
Because that would make my day.
We'll slap some stickers on that shit. I don't care.
Anyway.
Think you could do it in time for Scotchtober?
I think we can try.
Is it just Scotches that they're doing this with, or are they doing it with like some old American distilleries too?
So far, I think they're just doing. I think the Lost Distillery Company is out of Scotland.
Okay.
It's just Drink Good Liquor is purchasing, the stuff from them as a distributor.
I'm tracking. Gotcha.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Anyway, keep talking. My light went undone.
So, for my friends in the Gainesville area, you've seen the video, you've seen the post. If you have not procured yourself a bottle of the Jigs single barrel Knob Creek Rye Pick, with a sweet ass design by Little Mike at Death or Glory Tattoos, you need to grab one. This stuff is amazing. Got a full review up with it side by side with the Knob Creek Straight Rye. Just doing a little shameless plug for them. It's not bourbon and it's not Scotch, which we've been talking about, but it is tasty as all hell and well worth the grab while they've got some left in stock. I highly recommend it. Of course, I'm a Knob Creek fanboy and I love rye, so it was just like right up my alley.
All right. Let's see. Let me. I have not shared that we are live, so I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Go ahead and share that you're live. Word's out though.
Yeah. I hear with the two folks. Hey, two folks. What are y'all doing? What y'all drinking? Because I know what we're drinking. Liquor. And it's good.
I'm getting live text from my buddy Peters, who is taking a break from being on the back of a motorcycle in Virginia. We spent the week in Washington D.C. Learning how to administrate research, and had us a good time drinking Pinhook in the evenings. Have you ever had any Pinhook, Eric?
Water, dude. I had their the blue wax. I can't remember the name. I can't remember what it was,
Okay.
but it was the blue wax.
We had a yellow, which was a single barrel silver, which was their rye. It's called Tis Rye Time.
Mm-hmm.
And I had picked up the pink, which is a high proof bourbon. Now I think don't they source every year from different places? Is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
So my high proof was from, I guess, this year, and they had sourced it from Castle and Key. Super good. I mean, it was definitely a high rye. It was right at 3 years old, so a little bit younger than I normally drink, but it wasn't corny at all. It didn't have, any of that moonshiny taste. It's spry is how I would describe the flavor, as we have discussed before. And that was actually the first. We made all kinds of friends in the lobby who jumped on the bourbon bandwagon with us, and that was the first bottle gone. It was the crowd favorite.
Chris Peters now hitting the chatty 91. Yeah, that's Andy's our. He's in our industry, but I got him turned him on to the Chattanooga.
Nice. I still haven't tried the 91. I would imagine it's good. I'd like to see the flavor profile and how it differs from the 111.
Yeah, definitely. Now Pinhook, they like each of their bottles is named after a horse or something, isn't it? Or it's like based on a racehorse.
And actually, one of them, I can't remember which one of it was we were drinking, was one that won the Derby last year.
You got a bottle on you to show, or
no?
All right. Okay, yeah, y'all drank it. Yeah.
I wouldn't waste any room in my luggage with empty bottles. Some poor a hotel housekeeping service probably walked in and was like, "Good Lord."
Chris Peters has regained his affinity for Knob Creek. That's a very underrated whiskey. I think it gets the shaft, but a lot of times. But Eric and I have not been shy on our feelings for the Knob Creek.
Kendra was like, when I picked up, because I got an air and a spare, like I do with all the single barrels I do. She's like, don't you already have Knob Creek? I was like,
what, bud?
Shall we count the ways? Because I've got two 15-year-old picks, a 9-year-old pick, the 15-year-old small batch, the 12-year-old small batch, the 9-year-old small batch, straight rye, cast straight rye, double oak rye, and now this delightful single barrel rye. So yes, I enjoy Knob Creek.
I want to find that at 12-year-old cast strength that was out.
Oh yeah, that'd be delightful. Because it was what, at 120?
It was over 120.
Oh, okay, so it was true cask strength.
Yeah, like it wasn't like a batch proof. Yes, Benjamin.
Can I borrow these boxes?
Yes. Anyway, but there's that one, and I do believe feelings for the Knob, Easy Bro, family show. This ain't a family show. He must have his kids watching. Sorry about that, Andy.
This is sweet tea we're drinking.
Yes, sweet tea, and we are not making any terrible references to anything.
Nope, we would never do that.
So this is the Day of Labor, or as our folks down south call it, the Dia de la Bar.
I don't know that they call it that. I don't think anyone calls it that.
I didn't say that. I did. Anyway, so what is everybody drinking tonight? Chris, are you drinking tonight? Andy, we heard you were drinking Chatty 911.
I have a picture that proves that Chris Peters is drinking Knob Creek.
Nathan Rita said, cool. I don't know how he snuck in on there before we were live, but good on you. What are you drinking? Yo, Eric's drink whiskey right after Labor Day. It's my birthday. All right. Happy birthday to Nathan Rita. Eric, you should show him the little bit. There you go.
Happy birthday. It's for you, Bubba.
It's not birthday bourbon.
It's not birthday bourbon, but any bourbon you drink on your birthday is birthday bourbon.
You dang right. Because you got to drink what you can drink when you can drink it. There was a fella, because there has been this new crazy sensation that has hit the tater shelves known as Basil Hayden's Toasted.
Oh, yes. So I read about that, because toasted barrels is all the rage. But it's a new mash bill I read. So are they not rocking Beam's High Rye anymore?
I had read that it had like an extra grain in it, but they didn't say that they took away one. So I'm not gonna say anything for certain on that. But
we'll just Google the internet.
I did listen to somebody that I trust review it, and they were explaining that number one, it is exactly what you think it is. It's Basil Hayden's that has just a hair more flavor for $20 more.
It's retailing for $69.
It's up there. Yep.
For
Uncle Eric,
50 MSRP.
Ben is showing you this card. That's what he wanted to show you.
It's a synchro monster.
Oh.
Synchro.
Anyway,
I'm
yeah,
seeing if
I
can
have
find
not.
it.
I have not tried it, but somebody was talking about it on one of our pages the other day, and it said they were asking what people's thoughts were on Basil Hayden's. Of course, the typical group came in there and was like, "Meh, Basil Hayden, meh," and then thankfully some gentleman by the name of Scott Hamilton stepped in and goes, "If you like it, drink it. Screw everybody else." And I was like,
skater?
close.
Okay.
The trumpet player? So I want to give a little cheers to Scott Hamilton because, yes, if you do like it, drink it.
Well, I know a very good friend of mine is a sucker for some Basil Hayden's, and he has a good reason to be.
Is his name Basil?
No.
This is
Okay.
a different card.
I would like to try it. Entirely different mash bill. That's the press release.
Oh, sweet.
I want to know what that mash bill is, though.
Yeah,
Because I mean, is it going to be the new mash bill? I wonder.
I'm not sure. They were very mum on how toasted the barrel was.
I mean, I could taste it and tell you. Because their high rise, 60 to 63% corn, 27 to 30% rye, and 10% barley. I'm wondering if they went. Well, no. If it's a, what does that mean? Entirely new mash bill. I mean, if you tweak one thing, it's entirely new.
Marketing.
That's true. Because I can see him bumping up to maybe 35 rye.
Right.
Although that puts that corn dangerously low. I don't see him doing that because I think rye grain is more expensive. I don't know. If I see it, I'll give it a try.
Low carbon content. Yeah.
And if
Small cooking fire.
and if I don't like it, I'll just pass it off to Brian and see if he does.
Yeah. If I don't like it, I just won't drink it again.
Give it away.
What up, Brian Steven? Brian Steven is a fellow Scotch drinker. Welcome, Brian Steven. What was I going to say? No, Basil Hayden's some of their crazy finish stuff I actually quite enjoyed. They had that Caribbean that it was a 2x2 rye that was like a double barrel type deal. They had the Caribbean rye, which is the rum finished.
They've got a dark rye, which is really nice.
I think everything but the actual Basil Hayden.
I've got a buddy that is a huge fan of the 10-year.
I would have liked to have tried it, but when they took the age statement off, originally,
Basil Hayden used to be age stated.
used to be 10 years.
Okay, so the 10 year is a gimmick then.
Yeah, it used to be 10 years in the small batch collection. Like 'cause that was kind of like the niche of it. Booker's was 6. Baker's was 7. Basil Hayden's was 10, and Knob Creek was 9. And they just skipped an 8.
I have it locally available, so I may pick up some, do a little review for everyone, and if I don't like it, I know what my buddy's getting for Christmas. A half-drunk bottle of Basil Hayden's Toasted.
Here you go, brother.
Cheers.
So they have pushed my beloved Wild Turkey Master's Keep 1 to November release.
Okay.
Speaking of toasted, it's funny. Somebody brought up a really good point the other day. They said that toasted barrels is the same marketing gimmick that red wine producers use when they say that the wine's been finished in a bourbon barrel. They've always been finished in a bourbon barrel, and that's what they were saying is that toasting is not a new process. The marketing of toasting is.
Well, yes and no. Some cooperages will toast before they char. And then I think the toasted, at least the Elijah Craig toasted, and probably this Basil Hayden, is finished in a toasted barrel that hasn't been charred.
Well, that's different.
Which is why that Knob Creek tastes like or that Elijah Craig tastes like you're sucking on a toothpick.
Right, that's different. It's different if they're toasting the barrel and then putting the whiskey in it versus putting it in a completely second barrel.
Right.
That's what's been new.
Yeah, and
because Maker's Mark's been doing that. They even they were doing that before they even started doing their Maker's 46. Is they would toast their barrels in a kiln
and then char them.
Right.
And I think where toasting has come to the forefront in the whiskey community is with craft distillers, because they're super transparent about their process. So they'll say, we get barrels from X cooperage, we toast them for this amount of minutes at this many degrees, then we slap them with a number 3, number 4 char. So everyone's like, ooh, toasted, that's something special. And it may be a step that the big boys leave out, just because, why are they going to spend an extra 20 minutes when at the end of the day, when they're batching millions of gallons of bourbon together, it's not going to make a difference? Or is it something they've always been doing and just, it's such a damn secret what they're doing that we don't know?
Dang, we got everybody in the house. Big Tommy's on tonight.
Hello, Big Tommy.
You remember Tom? He was in the wedding.
Oh, yeah. New Jersey.
New Jersey Tom.
What's up, Tom?
Andy Engelbrett asks, are those extra staves in the Maker's 46 charred too? I believe so. Or are they toasted?
I got my little cheat sheet tag up here somewhere. No, I think I just finally threw it away.
TBD, Andy. TBD.
Stand by.
Now the Maker's, you've got the Maker's 46 cask strength now, right?
Yasa Yusa.
So Andy, I'll tell you about the single barrel program that they do, and then Eric will finish off with the 46. But there are a bunch of different staves that you can pick in their single barrel program. That if you go to ABC or Total Wine, you'll see a Maker's Mark private selection, and it's finished with certain amounts of staves, same process that they do for 46, but you also have the choice to pick the Maker's 46 staves that they did. So now that you've got that, Eric, go.
It looks like no, none of them are charred. They do have a seared French cuvee, which they say enhances the texture and mouthfeel with warm caramel notes, molasses, and a long finish. And also the roasted French mocha, which is obviously a darker, where you're going to get tobacco, cocoa, and leather with a long finish.
But none of them are charred. They're just some form of finishing, toasting wood.
So the 2020, the SE4 PR5 was virgin toasted American and French oak staves. The 46 is a toast. I don't think it's a toasted stave. FAE01 was a toasted stave. It was not charred. I wouldn't be surprised if we maybe saw some of their wood finishing, like their picks, in future years, coming out with maybe some charred additions. But I also wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see it, because I think you and I have had this conversation about older weeders. Once it hits that 10-year mark, it's kind of a crapshoot whether it's going to be just a charcoaly, spicy mess, or if it's actually going to help the flavor a little bit. So I don't know that that's a gamble that makers might be willing to take.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're not going to. They have never put out an age-stated whiskey, so I don't think they're going to start.
Yeah, and that's their whole thing is it's
consistency.
It's Maker's Mark when it tastes like Maker's Mark. And even their single barrel program is not a single barrel program. You're getting, essentially a vat of batched Maker's Mark that they're adding these staves to add the flavor to it. So
you are getting it at cast strength, but it is
right.
It is just it's not technically a single barrel.
Right. And they've never shied away from making that distinction that.
I think the only time that they were not forthcoming is when they did that little small proof change,
the switcheroo,
and for like 3 months.
And it was at 90 down to 87, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was ever so slightly, and they didn't say anything to anybody, and they got read the riot act. There's my star employee here. He has been turned on to the turkey.
All right, nothing wrong with that.
One at a time. Man, this is gonna be my new niche hobby, is finding these little small NAS NDPs for scotches, because I have way less of a margin of error in not liking one of these than I do doing the same thing with a bourbon.
Right. Yeah, corn goes wrong a lot easier than barley does, I think.
And top shelf on the marketing too. Matte finish on the bottle. The Lost Distillery, even though I found it.
Yeah, they do it up pretty good.
So you can actually, I think on this, I looked at a couple different ones that were on like Scotch test dummies and stuff, and you can actually go to the Lost Distillery Company's website, and they actually have like a full 2-page document detailing all the ones that they've done.
So I like that, and that's one of the reasons I was like Compass Box too, is because there's no secret where all that stuff's coming from.
I don't know why they did it with bourbon, because Diageo owns Compass Box.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, they were forthcoming, but that's whatever. all this lost whiskey. I am intrigued on that muckety muck single grain Scotch that they did, because I really heard that it tastes like bourbon, but because it was over in Scotland,
it's not.
It's not. So it's 24 years old.
Oh Jesus! Well,
24 years old.
Might not
Yeah,
be bad.
Right. That's what I was saying. But I just don't want to fork that bill for it. So I was happy getting that copper tongue at $100.
Yeah, they tend to like those orphan barrels a whole lot.
I was listening to a podcast the other day, and you know you know, I was talking about why Russell's 10 is still around.
Mm-hmm.
That is Eddie's actual taste profile.
Okay.
I was listening to Joanne Street, you know, the granddaughter, and I was listening to Bruce and Eddie, and they said that big difference between Eddie and Jimmy, as we talked, was that, you know, Jimmy liked whiskeys 6 to 10, 11 years old at really high proof. And they said Eddie likes really older whiskey, but at a lower proof.
Okay.
And you know, kind of we were talking, when everybody was shitting on the Dickles.
See what you did there.
And I told you I really liked them because, you know, my favorite one is that Master's Keep 17 year, which makes a whole lot of sense, being that was Eddie's first release.
Mm-hmm.
But I really enjoyed kind of that high age, lower proof, you know, and the fact that they're coming out at kind of cask strength at that lower proof. I really like and have enjoyed those. It's a nice change of pace from the, man, I burnt my mouth up.
Right. Your 101s and your rare breeds, which 101 ain't nothing to shake a stick at.
No. It's funny because I've been hitting that 101 so hard the past couple of months, and then I switched over the other day and poured that Russell's 10. I was like, it's like Basil Hayden's over here.
Pour me a little 101.
I might pour me a little Russell's 10. We'll see about it. Anyway, but everybody, thank you for coming in. We're not leaving just yet. We're just thanking everybody for being here, and we've had a lot of activity on the board. It's been a while since we had this many, but I'm happy.
Yeah, it ain't too shabby.
They missed us.
I'm just happy to be drinking whiskey on camera again.
God, yeah, that's, you know, I'd like to do a lot of things on camera, and drinking whiskey is one of them.
Oh.
Family show, family.
I love Wild Turkey 101. This is good classic bourbon.
Dude, I have killed like 3 handles of that in the past 2 months. I need to go to the doctor.
It's dangerous, that's for sure.
It's so good. I switched it up a little bit, and I got some. I poured me like an Evan Williams Bottled and Bond, you know, instead of doing that, and it was just like, it was such. There's like way more cherries and character to Wild Turkey 101.
Yeah.
To Evan Williams Bottled and Bond is just like that dusty corn with oak.
Heaven Hill, I'll say, makes really good bourbon. Just good, classic. You know what you're going to get. It's just, you know, it checks all the boxes of what bourbon should be. And, I mean, we've talked about this before. Within that kind of same flavor profile and similar mash bill, Wild Turkey just pushes the envelope on what you can do with a single mash bill, really.
I wanted to say, I don't know about Heaven Hill's bourbon mash bills. I think they only do one.
I mean, yeah, I don't see them changing it up between Craig and McKenna and Evan Williams and.
Yeah, I think they only do one. But anyway, now they were talking about Heaven Hill the other day on a podcast I listened to, saying that Heaven Hill has the most defunct bourbon labels, like in their library. That if they wanted to revive a brand, like they could, like they have the most.
Fitzgerald.
Right. They bought
the real old Fitzgerald, not this $300 shit.
Right, $10 a year. Speaking of which, I am so mad about the Total Wine lottery for this year. I
didn't even pick anything.
I'm hoping that I get that Blanton straight from the barrel, that I can just trade it for a Russell's 2030.
I was very pleased with the last one, the one from the spring.
Sorry, the one before we got swindled.
Yeah, when I think we both scored the Old Forester 150th.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love that. It's delicious. You know, I don't feel gypped by it. But I got to looking at it, I was like, there's nothing that I want to pay. I mean, and it's all retail, but like, there's nothing on that list that I really wanted to pay retail for.
I wouldn't mind having one of those Four Roses limited because I've never had one.
Yeah.
But other than that, I was kind of in the same boat. I think I put Blanton Straight from the Barrel as number 1, which I know most people will. So, Four Roses is 2, and then the Old Fitz is 3. We'll definitely, if I get that Old Fitz, we'll definitely pair, side by side that with some Larceny.
It was a 6-year, wasn't it?
A 9.
9.
Yeah, we'll definitely side by side that with some Larceny.
Yeah, I didn't pick anything.
Well,
I was like, there's nothing on this list that if I get it, I want to buy.
Oh, do you still have time to pick?
I don't know, probably not. I got the email early last week.
I was about to say, because if you,
I thought it was if you picked and didn't buy, they pulled you out of the lottery.
That's it. Oh, you're drinking the turkey, so I decided to pour a little Russell's 10.
I mean, let's be real. My buying has slowed down this year to the point that I'm not going to get Grand Reserve again.
The only reason I got it was because I called a bitch to the Florida rep, and I got 15,000 points.
I wonder if I could still do that. Like,
what, call him bitch from the last one? I called you when that happened.
Yeah, I never did it. I was priorities.
I only did that because I wanted the extra $15 off of my next bottle. Which I did. I had a $10 off, and then I got the extra 15, and then I bought a really expensive bottle of Scotch for 25 off. What?
I'm trying to remember the last thing I bought from Total Wine.
It's been a bit just because I haven't really been able to go to the dang store.
I think the last thing that was purchased by my household from Total Wine was the Offerman, the Lagavulin.
Yep.
Because all my other purchases I've made from Jigs. Jig Liquors.
Jigs, get you a store down here, fool. We'll call it Jugs.
I'm gonna drink the rest of my advanced sample of the Single Barrel Rye, if you don't mind.
There you go. We're gonna get sponsored by Jigs and Drink Good Liquor and called Drink Good Jigs.
I'd be fine with that. Jigs don't pick junk.
You damn right. I haven't had anything bad from him.
I still need to grab his Old Pepper. I haven't done that yet.
Old Pepper's MGP, isn't it?
I thought Old Pepper was its own thing.
I'm thinking of James Pepper. I'm thinking of James E. Pepper. James E. Pepper is MGP.
So he actually did something really cool. Bottled by hand at the historic James E. Pepper Distillery. Or the historic Pepper Distillery.
Does it not say on the bottle distilled?
Distilled at various distilleries, including
but not limited to.
Including theirs, the Lawrenceburg Distillery in Indiana, and Bardstown Bourbon. Okay.
Oh, did I tell you that I signed up for that World's Top Whiskey Taster thing?
I didn't. Or you didn't.
So I think they're going to announce the regional qualifiers in the next week or two. But now, did you see that advertised?
I heard about it, but no, I didn't really pay too much attention.
So basically, what it is if you win, you get $20,000 cash.
Okay.
You get to blend your own bottle for Bardstown Bourbon Company.
Okay.
You get a full sponsored scholarship to Moonshine University.
Okay.
You get I think they fly you up a bunch of times and pay for a bunch of crap. But other than that, you have to do a regional and they pick 6 people to go to each regional. So obviously, I picked Atlanta. That was the closest. But you go through like 4 or 5 tasks at the regional, and then they pick the top from each regional, and then they'll fly you up on their dime for like 4 days at Bardstown Bourbon Company, and then they do. I looked it up. I looked up last year's on YouTube, which was pretty cool. So and they put you through 4 different competitions. One is you pick a whiskey, and then they assign you a meal. Or no, they assign you a meal, and you have to pick a whiskey to pair with it, and then explain it to one Peggy No of the Beam family.
So that's a trick question because I'm gonna
pinch me, Mr. Ho.
I'm gonna pick Dom Creek every time. This is a delightful pasta primavera with unborn pears and dolphin embryo. Knob Creek.
It's dolphin embryo.
This is steak and baked potato. Knob Creek.
Knob Creek.
Kung Pao chicken. Knob Creek.
There's a Caesar salad with anchovies. Knob Creek. That's one of them, and then they give you like a 4 samples that are blind, and you have to guess the proof. Guess the proof. Guess what type it is, and they give you like the 4 types that it could be.
Is it like the Price is Right showcase where
you got to get close to it?
If whoever gets closest without going over,
pretty much.
Otherwise, the sad tuba comes on.
Yeah. The third one is you have to. They give you aged and raw spirit, and they give you like an hour and a half to blend your own whiskey for the experts to taste. And they give you like all kinds of age variations and whatnot, and like they'll give you like 3 or 4 year old wheater, 3 or 4 year old rye, 3 or 4 year old bourbon. You know, like they give you all kinds of stuff, and then you blend it.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And they use that on Dan Le Batard. when
the Price is Right.
They use that when a joke fails.
Is Bob Barker still alive, right?
I don't think he's on Price is Right though. It's Drew Carey.
It's skinny Drew Carey.
The blonde-headed Nazi Drew Carey.
Oh, thank God he's still with us.
Good.
We love you, Bob. Spare me your pets.
I hate that Bob Barker. I should have to who. But I forgot the fourth competition. But it was basically I remember they give you another blind test.
The trial by combat against Parker Beam.
Oh my God! They give you another blind contest, and then you have to. I think they give you a list of 20 whiskeys, and they give you 4 that you have to blind and pick which one you think it is.
Oh Jesus!
I'm excited. I hope I get picked.
I didn't even know about it, but
it blasted all over YouTube. They asked you or YouTube, Facebook. When you interviewed, you have to interview with like a not Zoom. It's like a tele thing that's on there. But they ask you 3 separate questions. What is your favorite color?
What is your quest?
What is the aspirated velocity of unladen swallow?
Well, I mean, like, we'll count on them finding this YouTube channel and your ass is out.
They don't know it was me. I got my glasses and hat on.
Did you sign up under Rusty Shackelford?
Check their pockets for cigarettes. Oh Lord! But no, so it was like one was what was your favorite memory tied to whiskey? and I chose starting a whiskey show with my best friend during terrible times of COVID. Right in the feels. All right. Second was explain your knowledge of what bottled and bond means.
Where shall I begin?
Oh, Lord. And they only give you a minute, and I was like, fuck.
Rattle the whole thing off from memory.
I did. I went. And the third one was, what is your hot take about the whiskey industry? Unpopular opinion.
The racket.
Right? Yeah. Marketing sucks.
No, marketing doesn't. The marketing doesn't suck, and that's what sucks.
It's the whiskey. Maxwell, you suck. No. Debbie, remember, you can't just yell out one insult. You got to yell out some form of specificity about what sucks. Maxwell, your plays suck. Much better.
Knob Creek Rye.
I don't think I've ever had Knob Creek Rye at all.
Well, I'll tell you what. Have Knob Creek Rye and then have a little pour of this, because it'll knock your socks off.
I'm hoping. I don't think that we're going to be able to do the ye old stomping grounds of the St. George because of Delta. But I am going to try to plan a Gainesville weekend.
I mean, even if you plan it for that weekend, we can make it work.
I gotta look and see how. So the week, like, I'm supposed to go on vacation the 20th, and I think I told you that. But like that weekend before in September is supposed to be the last of like our long days. So hopefully be back to a little bit once I figure out what the secondary normal schedule will be. Then I'll be able to plan something.
So we got coming up. We'll probably crank out. Shit, what did we do that last weekend? Like almost 10 episodes.
Oh, I'm gonna take some damn milk thistle and we're gonna crank out about 20.
So if there's something you haven't seen us review that you want to see us review that doesn't start with Weller or end with Van Winkle,
or race or Aggle Rare or Lantons
or Hut Taylor,
or Hut Taylor,
drop us a line. Post it on a comment on a video if you happen to be watching one. Shoot it through us through Instagram or Facebook, or ericsdrinkwhiskey@gmail.com. That shit's all mashed together, no spaces. Let us know if there's anything you want to see us review, and if you got to review it.
If you got samples and want to send us something, we will happily do that. We will pay. We will pay for shipping.
So
just let us know.
I do have some George T. Stagg.
Ooh.
Thank you, Michael Rivers.
Is that the single barrel?
Oh, no, I have to ask him.
Because I have a Stagg that I could bring up and we could do a little comparison.
Compare and contrast.
Yeah.
I have to go back and look and see exactly what that was.
I'll even bring up the EHT barrel proof.
Ooh. And we can do a side-by-side with some benchmark barrel proof.
The benchmark. We set the bar.
It's the same.
Right here.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about that. We'll have that going on. You'll probably see us with the TV in the background. Probably see some Florida or Alabama football on again.
That'll be normal.
That'll be normal. So
I say we should post up at Jigs just with a table
out front.
And
have to get that cleared by him first.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a master of just
unless we post ourselves up like a homeless distance away, and then nobody can do anything about it.
Here's the sales pitch we're gonna do for Jigs. Hey, I got this great idea. All right, yeah. So both Erics are going to be in town for an Eric's Drink Whiskey jamboree. Yeah. All right. What if we post up in your store, have all of our Eric's Drink Whiskey garb out there, and we drink samples of your store picks for free?
I actually thought about that, is taking like the last year's worth of picks, because there have been some jewels this year, and doing a little
Instagram live from the old Jigs Liquor thing.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah.
I think I have most all of them. I might have to see if I can get at least some samples of some of the ones I didn't get. They did like an Alberta Premium that I didn't get just because that's not my cup of tea.
Fair enough.
What other ones did they do that I didn't get? I got the Koval. There's they did a one with Manifest out of Jacksonville that I didn't get. I'll see what I can do.
I tell you what, you work on the jigs, and I'm gonna work my magic with the Drink Good Liquor and see if we can I'm gonna see if I can Stugatz my way into some shit.
So Jigs are mad if you're watching this. Be expecting a random ass message in the next day or two about our plans for October. So
I mean, come on, yeah.
I'm gonna drink the rest of this sample.
Dano. One of the running jokes that Stugatz does on that show is that anytime they name off like just a random football player or sports athlete or whatever, he just comes up with a nickname.
A sports athlete?
Yes. An athlete. Yeah.
Sports athlete. I got it.
He'll just fire off a nickname. And they're like, oh yeah, and did y'all see what Jim Harbaugh did for Michigan? He goes, Harbaugh, the Harbs, or just like stupid. And so one time they actually like made him. They just rattled off sports figures, and he would just come up with a nickname right on the spot. Who's that? Jimmy Johnson, Gooch, or something.
Like old J-Dog Russell.
Yeah, the Hammer. Yeah. Oh shit! But well, this has been some good comic relief and a nice end of the evening, my friend.
Hammering. I'm still convinced they shouldn't let us on the internet, but here we are.
They should have never gave us money.
That's right.
Oh Lord! So if you are not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to Eric's Drink Whiskey at YouTube. I am talking to the microphone, not to the camera. I was like,
go figure.
Come here, microphone.
Also,
you should end it. I'm done.
if you're on YouTube and you hadn't followed us on Instagram, it's at Eric's_drink_whiskey. We're also on Facebook.
We are the alternative whiskey show.
Yeah, Facebook as Eric's Drink Whiskey. Go figure. And then also, if you've been watching our videos and you wonder what happens in those little segments where it gets a little blurry, and it's a nice cohesive thought that we're making sense, there's a lot of yammering like this that goes on in our videos. We're cranking out 15, 20-minute episodes. We'll film probably about 30, 45 minutes of drinking and chatting. So if you want the full, uncut, unfiltered versions of our episodes, check out our podcast. It's EDWNCF. That's Eric's Drink Whiskey Non-Chill Filtered. That is on Shout Engine and Apple Podcast. That's going to be some good comic relief for you. If you're a podcast listener driving into work or working out at the gym, highly recommend it because I think we're hilarious. So definitely check us out there. But thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. We really appreciate being back behind the camera and having so much love tonight. But until next time, cheers. Hit that button, sir.